Since ancient times, humankind's most respected wisdom teachings have been warning us that the so-called normal minds of most Homo sapiens are neither wise nor evolved. Millennia of scientific achievements certainly establish our race as the most intelligent life form on the planet, but there is, of course, a dark, even terrifying, flip side to that. If we review certain of the agendas that this powerful human mind has often pursued, we're instantly confronted with the gulf between intelligence and wisdom. We could define intelligence as the ability to acquire, accumulate, test, and refine knowledge, and to then apply that knowledge using specific skills developed for the task. And wisdom as that by which an individual or group demonstrates experience, good judgment, prudence, sensibility, acting from a deep awareness that enables high-quality outcomes. Just a few seconds spent contemplating each definition in the light of history validates those ancient warnings about the mind. But what warnings exactly, and from where? Hinduism, dating back over 4,000 years, is the world's oldest religion, and one of its core teachings is that virtually all human thought and perception is dysfunctional. It uses the expression, the veil of illusion, or Maya, which originally referred to a magic power a god used to make mortals believe something that later proved unreal. While some might label dysfunctional as an extreme or even offensive way to characterize human thinking and behavior, most news broadcasts appear to suggest otherwise. Around 2,500 years ago, the teachings of the Buddha appeared, including his caution that the normal human mind constantly generates dukkha. Dukkha is usually translated as suffering or unsatisfactoriness, but whatever specific word we settle for, it's basically another way of describing mental dysfunctionality. In that same era, Taoism took shape in China, expounding 3 key philosophical principles by which to live, in essence, inaction, simplicity, and harmony with the cosmos. And the writings of Taoism's founding sages repeatedly warned, often in poetic metaphors, that the human mind itself presents the single greatest obstacle to following this way. Later, about 2,000 years ago, the teachings of Jesus appeared, which included references to the human condition of sin, often interpreted as a long list of specific bad deeds. However, the 2 words translated as sin in the Gospels are the verb hamartano and noun hamartia. Both mean to miss the mark or be mistaken, basically, to be dysfunctional. It is undeniably significant that history's most famous spiritual masters all taught via different frames of reference and language that our race's thinking is a built-in handicap. Centuries of war, cruelty, and torture, ironically sometimes triggered by disputes over what those very masters meant about relatively minor religious matters, proves them all correct. The wonderful upside to this bleak warning about dysfunction that runs through the history of spiritual teaching is the equally compelling narrative that liberation from it is possible. Those accumulated experiences of nations and cultures prove that overdependence on intelligence, in the absence of counterbalancing wisdom, leads to inventiveness of the worst kind. When those spiritual masters lived, hails of arrows could, in just hours, slay thousands on a battlefield. But now we have weapons that can destroy entire countries in mere minutes. The result is that in evolving technologically, but not internally, our species has painted itself into a corner, whereby now our very survival depends on us finally growing up. Yet the tools to do so have been there all along, for developing self-awareness, as core Hindu, Buddhist, Taoist, and Christian teachings all counsel, can unleash the wise us. That wiser self, the watcher, the higher mind, the I that is aware of my thoughts but is a consciousness beyond them, can gift raw intelligence with an essential moral compass. For the human race has wondrous potential, which if we could only learn to temper intellect with intrinsic but untapped wisdom, could repair and transform the world. In Hamlet's famous soliloquy, Shakespeare juxtaposes our two sides, first with, "What a piece of work is a man?" Then the switch to, "What is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me." It's true that some remain in awe of human intelligence, or treat science with the breathless reverence once only enjoyed by religion. But such narrow views lack perspective. For history showcases the fruits of imbalance, and our society's present conditions glaringly signal the need to mature as a species, to curtail the misuse of the mind. Observing ourselves and noting, without pointless judgment, but as much objectivity as possible, thought patterns that are impulsive, egoistic, or uncharitable, is the start. Making a practice of calm self-awareness can, over time, slice that veil of illusion, help us stop generating suffering, and guide us to greater harmony, where we no longer miss the mark.
We hope you found the challenge that parts of this installment pose to typical modern thinking, both insightful and inspiring. To explore a closely connected topic, check out episode 12.